What's going on, guys? Sir Nerds here, and today we're going to be starting a video series called What's Free. What we're going to be doing is looking at some free-to-play games that I think are actually pretty good considering the fact that they're free. Most free-to-play games, it's free to get in the game and start playing, and then they have their cash shop. This is true with like 90% of these games. Some games try to do it a little bit differently, but the core concept is pretty much the same. We'll be looking at PC games and console games. I have an Xbox One, and I do play some games on the PC, so I will be looking at some games that I already play, and then I'll also be looking at some games that I want to play. So the first game that we're going to look at is Dreadnought. I think this game is amazing. It's kind of a third-person shooter mixed with a flight simulator. And what I mean by that is you're not, controlling a person, right? You're not controlling a character who's holding a gun that can roll around, hide behind walls, that kind of thing. No, you're controlling these ships like the one that you see here. This is actually one that you can buy. Their prices on buying ships are pretty steep. I'm not too fond of that fact, but you can't ignore the fact that this ship does look pretty dang cool, and it is a high tier ship. There are 5 tiers of ships, and this is a tier 4 ship. So let's go back to the hangar, and I'll kind of show you some things. So these are my mid-tier ships right here that I'm using. You'll start here in the recruit section and be able to use tier 1 and tier 2 ships and kind of work your way through. And what you do is they start you off with a few ships right off the bat. Okay, so you'll start off with that destroyer there, these 2 ships here, and then this ship right here. Okay, and then as you use these ships, you'll gain research points that allow you to go in and buy stuff on the skill tree, and that will, as you can see the path here, allow you to go on to the next tier of ships. So now you don't have to use the same class of ship. For example, right now I'm here at this tier 2 ship, and I'm just trying to get down here so I can get to this Corvette class ship, and I also have the option of the next tier of the same artillery ship, which is pretty cool. And I really like that they make you get experience from the game, like learn how to play the game in order to get the better things. I do really like that, because in these games like first-person shooters nowadays, that's not really the case. You mostly have access to everything, and then you just customize the way stuff looks. That is slowly changing. Call of Duty Black Ops 3 is different in that way, and that's awesome. That you do have to unlock some things there, as well as like Halo 5 is another good example. But this game is very different. As the name suggests, you do fly ships, and it's not just dreadnoughts. The ship right here that I have is an actual dreadnought. They are the huge, massive, slow-moving, heavy-hitting, and heavy defense types of ships. In real life, I think there are very few of this class of ships because they're so massive and cost so much to produce, but they are a significant threat on the battlefield. They don't have battleships, which I have already expressed on the forums that I think that they should add, because battleships can essentially be a smaller version of a dreadnought that hits maybe a little bit harder, but moves just as slow and has a little bit less defense. I think that would be pretty cool, but I think that's kind of what they're trying to do with this class of ship, which is the destroyer. It's faster than the dreadnought. Hits not quite as hard, but the damage is more consistent. Like the time between shots is smaller, and they can take a little bit of a beating, and they are a little more maneuverable. So they have a different playstyle than the dreadnoughts altogether. Then you also have these tactical cruisers, which are basically your healers. They are very squishy. They can heal ships pretty far away, and they can kind of do some damage when they need to, but you've got to be pretty close to do it, so it is a risk. I have been taking time to learn how to do both sides of this, and the loadout that you see at the bottom of the screen is kind of what I've picked out of the tech tree. So let's look at the tech tree real quick, okay? So that is the Orcus, I believe, that I'm using. Yes, so you start off with everything that's here at the top, obviously, and then as you use these points here, you can spend them and upgrade your ships until you fulfill the prerequisites to get the next tier of ships, which I've used this ship, and then I got that Dreadnought that we looked at earlier. What I have done here is I've tested, I've used this Tesla coil pod for damage, and I think I used this Flechette half battery also for damage, and I just prefer with this kind of a ship to focus on the healing. And I upgraded my my alternate weapon, because you start off with a main weapon and then you can switch to an alternate weapon, and the Tesla turrets for the healing ships are the alternate weapon. They are the ones that do the damage. So I did upgrade those for when I do use them. If I see a ship is weak, I will rush in there and finish them off, because you can heal yourself with this auto repair ability, so you can do that. Sorry, wrong button. So yeah, there's a lot of different playstyles, and let's just jump into something really simple. Let's just do a recruit match. See if we can get one really quick. They usually are pretty quick. The matchmaking times are maybe about 1 to 2 minutes most of the time, which I really do like about the game. One other thing that I do really love about this game is the art is just so beautiful. I mean, you can look at these different ships and they're just very detailed and realistic. This ship kind of looks like what maybe the US would have if we had spaceships. If we go back to the hangar here and we go here, looks like maybe something that Japan would have, It's less of that really rugged design. It's very sleek looking. Pretty cool though. I like it. I love this particular faction of ships. And then this is one that I bought. Same faction, same type of ship. Just obviously it looks different. All right, we got a match. Let's go do some stuff. I'm going to try to use more than just one kind of ship here so that you can see the combat and how different it is. And I will talk about the combat aspects that you do have available to you as we are fighting here. Because it's not just your skills that you have with each ship. It's also a few other things that I will explain to you. So bear with me. You're gonna love this. All right. So right here is just your ship selection. So whatever's first in your line of ships, you can pick. It automatically spawns you in as that. So if you don't pick anything by the time the match starts, then I think it starts at 30 seconds. That's the ship you'll use. You press the C key right here, because this is a PC game. I don't think it's on consoles. It might be going to consoles. I'm not 100% sure. But let's switch to our destroyer. So this is the very basic, well-rounded type of ship. So I think it's a good thing to start with. All right. Now, normally people are actually not that they're not that chatty in chat. That's funny. Wow, this guy's using a tier 4 ship. I didn't think that was allowed here. I'm using a tier 2 ship, so this is kind of middle grade-ish. Alright. Now, one thing I will say is that the loadout that I have for this ship is different from the base version of it because it suits more of my playstyle that I want to go for. So, let's be careful. So, right off the bat, you know, WSAD keys on the keyboard to maneuver. W is forward, A is left, D is right, and S is backward. Or if you're holding the W key, S will actually slow you down, which is, I think, a nice feature if you're trying to dodge some of those long-range hits. If you use the left shift key, you'll go down. If you use the space bar, you'll go up. Somebody is shooting at me. There's a Corvette. Let's switch weapons because it would be beneficial to us. So what I did was I switched my weapons to the flat cannons that this ship is equipped with, which are good for warding away those guys, those close range Corvette type of ships. I'm getting hitting hard from multiple sides and it is quite annoying. What I'm going to do is activate this little beauty and jump. And we're going to get closer. And look at that. We're able to help them take those guys out. Oh no, I might die. Yep, I died. And there's so much detail you can see on the top of that ship, if you want to go back in the video, but you can see on the top of that ship there's actually a helipad on there, which I think is pretty cool. You know, it's a nice touch, because if you're, you know, in the atmosphere of a planet like this, you might actually have, you know, visitors fly in. So they tried to make it a little realistic. You can see the helipad there. It's pretty cool. You can see all the guns on this and all the different areas that open up to fire missiles and whatnot. So if you hold the E key, there's this wheel. Basically is a temporary buff that uses your energy, which you can see on the right there. That blue bar with the 65 next to it, that is your energy. So you'll want to watch that when you activate this stuff, because if I go here and I make myself faster, you see it goes down. Now some ships it goes down faster, okay? Some ships it's slower. It really depends on the ship, and I think that that is also good because it really works for, you know, the different kind of ships. And you can also, you know, I can boost my shield so that they don't kill me right away. Go ahead and work on this guy. Okay, that guy's dead. Kind of wasted my missiles there, but that's fine. I'm working on not doing that all the time. Alright. Let's go ahead and jump. And it'll just jump forward whichever way you're facing. So it is a cool thing to do, but it can get you killed, so you've got to be careful. I just wanted to show you, you know, you can take your ship, and I could have jumped maybe, if I flew a different path, jump behind them and try to attack them. Alright, so let us look at a different kind of ship. Let's go with a Dreadnought, shall we? So as I said, Dreadnoughts are the larger ships. They move a lot slower. Alright, so it kind of looks like if I use the maneuvering thrusters on the Dreadnought, it drains it a little bit quicker. Not much, just a little bit. But the weapons on the Dreadnought have longer range, so I can actually hit these guys from here. If you right click, you can zoom in just a little bit. Now the artillery actually has the largest zoom factor, which is good because they are intended to be snipers. And I think that's a smart thing to have done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump in over there, since this is a heavier ship and it can take more of a beating. And it does jump farther too. Oh, I guess it jumped in the wrong direction. Still haven't quite figured out. Sometimes it goes straight where the portal opens up, and sometimes it's completely different altogether. Alright, so let's make sure that this guy's not getting too many heals, shall we? And what I can do is also boost my weapons, which makes them shoot faster. which means that I can damage them and have a better chance of hitting them as well, which I think is really cool, especially when you're trying to take out these more squishy ships like this tactical cruiser I'm attacking right now. I'm gonna go ahead and add some shields to me. Gonna have to turn, unfortunately.
Make sure you get our good side. That's why you're the captain. Hostile going down. Thanks.
There we go. Was able to take out 2 ships right there. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Now, the combat when you're playing Dreadnoughts is kind of slower, but when you're facing off against multiple enemies, you just get this kind of a rush that you really don't expect. Like, it is really rewarding and enjoyable to play the Dreadnoughts. You've got to be careful. You know, you are a large ship and you can take a lot of damage if you play right, but you're not invincible. There are other Dreadnoughts out there. There are ships that can take you down. And I think that is the intent of the artillery ships, because they don't have to get near the Dreadnoughts to do a lot of damage to them. So you'll use them and take them out. Alright, so I'm going to kind of do something that my teammates probably don't want me to do, but I'm going to go kamikaze so we can switch to another ship. Alright, let's go. Oh, where did I go? I think I passed my targets, actually. Let's go ahead and hit
Broadside ballistic.
Heavy damage across multiple systems, Captain.
Alright, so he's closer, so I can actually use these, which are gonna hit him more. Those are called repeater guns.
Swapping to primary weapons, Captain. Thanks, Captain.
Now, because these ships are slower, I've noticed that they equip them with something that, there we go, we died. They equip them with, a weapon, or not a weapon, but a defense mechanism, where you can shoot the missiles that are coming towards you out of the sky, because they are hard to dodge when you are a large ship like this. Oops, I did not mean to warp in as the same ship. Got to talking. Alright, so let's go ahead and continue with this. Now, these matches are relatively quick. I may have to make a part 2 of this video if we can't look through all these classes. I probably won't play a Corvette though. I haven't used them much. Let's kill this guy, shall we? He tried to get there in time to heal his buddy, and I commend him for that, but we're gonna take him down. Let's switch, shall we? And the aiming is a little weird. Like, you know, you can't always aim directly at your target. There we go. But you can also use this boost to turn faster, which I think is good. We're gonna teleport over there. Alright. That's just a good way to get this slow ship into the enemy's area fast. Alright, we did win that match. But yeah, so that's pretty much the combat. It's very simple. You know, 4 abilities. You have that wheel that allows you to use your energy to buff yourself in whatever way you need to. If you need to be faster, you can do that. If you need more damage, you can do that. If you need to survive and add shield, go for it. And there are also different abilities that kind of buff these things as you go through the tiers of ships. And see, we're getting a good amount of research points there. And we're also getting some credits. So once you research something, you have to buy it with credits, which kind of makes a double layer of currency, unfortunately. But I kind of like it because it does slow down your progression, and you don't have people fairly new to the game with tier 5 ships, not knowing what in the world they're doing. They're not going to be overwhelmed by all these choices. So I do like that. And there are different bonuses. You can see that there's this become elite thing here, which you pay real money for, but you get more experience and stuff. Let's go look at the market. Let's see some stuff. So this is a ship that I personally want because I really like this faction. And when you buy these ships, you can't customize them. So the modules that they have, which are your abilities, you can't swap those out like you can with the ships that you actually research. Which is fine, because I think they're meant to work a certain way, and I think that is a counterbalance for the fact that you are paying to have a pretty powerful ship. It makes the game feel less pay to win that way, because that is kind of a pay to win situation there. I myself bought this because you can earn, as you see, if I win just a few more games, about 18 more games, I'll get some of that premium currency for free. So that's pretty cool, and it is pretty cheap to buy. You don't have to buy it all at once, but this is one of those sniper ships that I bought with the currency that I got. Let's go back to the market, and there's also the cosmetic stuff that you can get. If we go down to ships, this is all they have right now. They have one Dreadnought that's purchasable. Kind of reminds me of the Dreadnought that they had in that one trailer. But yeah, it's pretty cool. And then if you go to the GP packs, there's a $5 option. I've found that lately free-to-play games don't have a $5 option. They start off with $10, and I don't like that, because I would like to be able to, I can do $5 here and there, but $10, that's just, a little more than I'm willing to pay at one time. But sometimes it's different. Sometimes I don't mind it, but not all the time. But $5, I could maybe do that once every week or once every other week and save up my points to get what I actually want, or just go ahead and use them. You can go up here and customize your captain. So I've got him with special eyes. He's got special eyes. And you can customize what they're wearing. I think their options are limited right now because this is a fairly new game. But you can, I've got the war paint here, the different tattoos. You can put scars. I'm sure they'll add more of all this stuff. Gender. This is not a deep customization, so there are preset faces. So you kind of have to roll with what you find in the list there. And then you can also change the color of your uniform. That's the default color, is kind of a gray. I'm going with that blue for right now. And I'm hoping that they add more, maybe more vibrant colors, and of course more uniforms, because I don't think we all want to wear the same stuff. We want to customize our stuff. And then finally, you can also customize your ships. Now, you saw the icon for this ship was actually white. So if I go to appearance here, and we go here, you see I'm using a skin. However, the over on stock, that's what the ship looks like normal. But this is what I bought, and I'll be using it. And there are a lot of cool stuff. You have your vibrant skins and some of the darker ones with maybe a different colored detail, or just these kind of things, and they're different prices. But yeah, you choose what you want. I would honestly like this, but I didn't want to spend the 400 points even though I had it. But yeah, so that's pretty much the gist of Dreadnought. I'll probably make a part 2 to this specific video, just so that I can show you some more stuff, like go through this stuff down here and show you some of the other classes of ships, and that'll give me time to jump into the Corvette class of ship. But that is going to be the video. Thank you guys for watching. I hope that you've enjoyed this. I hope that you have found that you might actually enjoy this game. I encourage you, pick it up, try it out. It is free. If you have a PC that can play these kind of things, go for it. It is really fun. I am very much enjoying it, and I know that they just only have more that they're going to add to this game. So if you have liked this video, please make sure you click that like button, subscribe to the channel. We are going to have more of these videos. This is just the start of a series that I am going to be doing. But for now, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Deuces.